first year math, and I've never been a fan of math, so I really knew I needed a tutor to like help me get that extra help.
I did very bad on my first midterm, so I thought I needed to pick it up.
Okay, and for what courses were you primarily tutored in?
Linear algebra.
Okay.
What are some struggles you face as a student?
Having enough time and prioritizing.
I feel like sometimes it's a lack of being challenged at times.
And did you meet your tutor on a regular basis or just like when you needed her?
When I needed her. So, yeah.
As needed.
Mostly as needed.
I only met with her once or twice.
Well, I teach like 100 on a weekly basis, but like probably one-on-one tutoring, like 2 or 3. I'm totally comfortable with it. If more students needed help and I had the time for it, I would probably do more.
And I only had 3 people I was tutoring a
Only 3?
semester.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you have wanted to do more, or was 3 like
I
good
would've-
for your schedule?
It was good for my schedule because I was in a lot of sports and I worked.
Okay.
But if I had more, maybe I would have been able to take like left shifts at work and then like
Done more tutoring instead?
done more tutoring. Yeah.
So were most of the students that you tutored like regular students or like just they come as they want?
When we were doing literacy, so I had it was a type of, like a reading buddy type deal. So I had one student who I'd meet with once a week. But when I was doing a drop-in session, it would be just whoever kind of came. A few of them were regulars, but then there were some that just kind of came sporadically.
Honestly, a lot of people came back. Like they had like their one time a week that they would go at lunch. So I saw a lot of familiar faces.
How did you find the students to tutor?
A lot of them have come to me just because they know that I'm comfortable with the material and I'm able to break it down. How did you find your tutor?
She was alright. I don't think she was the most in-depth and really understood the topic as well as she probably should have.
A pain students may face is having a tutor who isn't knowledgeable enough, and as a pain reliever, we decided to emphasize our feature of tutor assessments.
2 of them are awesome. One guy I tutored him as a favor to one of my teachers because he was really doing badly, but he was kind of the worst. So like he hated school, so it was kind of hard to tutor him.
Okay.
What type of students have you tutored in the past?
Like normally, like primary school and then high school as well.
So I tutored English in grade 11 and 12 in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
For other high school students?
For other high school students,
Okay.
yeah.
A tutor, like how did you like find like a tutor to actually tutor?
So it was me and my roommate, and my roommate's friend got tutored by her before, so we just contacted her through her phone number.
I found him because he was a student instructor for the school run sessions and he did tutoring on the side. Yeah, after my linear algebra tutor, I wanted a calculus one as well. So I looked around for one for a while, but I didn't end up finding one.
One common thread we noticed when conducting our student interviews was that students found their tutors through their own personal connections. This meant that if a student did not have their own personal connection for the subject that they needed, it provided them with difficulty and made it almost impossible to find a tutor. Scholarly is able to solve this problem and provide a pain reliever through its online matching system.
And what are some of the inconveniences that you might face as a tutor?
Some inconveniences were that sometimes there were like too many kids and too little tutors. So then there'd be like a little bit of a lineup because they don't always have the same question. So you can't really group tutor a lot.
Yeah, people wouldn't show up sometimes to the sessions, which is like a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Almost like, well, actually it is.
One pain that the tutors expressed through their interviews was that students wouldn't show up to their scheduled tutoring session. This was a waste of the tutor's time. A pain reliever that Scholarly provides is through the online secured payments, which guarantees the tutor their payment whether the student will show up or not, as they have already paid in advance.
Time, trying to figure out like when it fits in my schedule and their schedule, especially because a lot of people I tutor are like really involved in things outside of the classroom. Obviously you want them to go to school, and then just figuring out when a good time to meet and where to meet.
We found that scheduling and communicating with students was one of the largest pains for tutors.
Sometimes it also depends on the grasping power of students. Even if you try a lot,